Hi, it's Broadway Bill Lee from CBS FM backstage at B.B. King's Blues Club and Grill. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday night, September 21st, 2007, not 1967, 2007. And we tonight, all the listeners who won tickets and everybody here at B.B. King's Blues Club is going to witness pretty much the rebirth of something really fantastic, something very New York, something totally pop music and rock and roll, something CBS FM's audience just loves. Please welcome Jay and the Americans. Make some noise, folks. Yeah. Over here we've got the original founding member, Sandy Dean. Sandy, what is it like to do this 40 years later?
Well, like I said, we've had Tommy John surgery. We're like Rip Van Winkle. We've been sleeping for 35 years, but we're back, and it's our hometown. The last time we played Manhattan, it was Madison Square Garden, SRO, 1971. So this is a homecoming. It's thrilling.
You know it's thrilling. It's thrilling for everybody at CBS FM because we just get to play the music. And once in a while we go on YouTube and we even get to see the music. Guys, I'm a little surprised we haven't got the sharkskin suits with the striped turtlenecks and the cummerbund that was such a Jay and the Americans look.
We do have the turtleneck.
You do? We're going to see the turtlenecks tonight.
As opposed to turkey necks.
We wear turtlenecks to hide our turkey necks.
Marty, tell me about this. Now, you're from Brooklyn?
Brooklyn,
right?
yes.
Okay, so you've been around this.
How could you tell?
Now, listen to me. I know you've been around since doo-wop music.
Right.
What was it like coming up, and how was the group actually put together?
Well, the group was put together in several ways. There were two separate groups, actually maybe three. There was Sandy's group, and then I was a duet with Mr. Black, and through whatever happened, we got together. That's
You're very not together
I mean,
tonight,
well,
Marty.
No, he's got it together.
when Jay Traynor left,
Yes.
I was with Jay and the Americans at that time, and I called my friend Dave Blatt. He was selling shoes at Tom McCann in Jamaica.
I think he
And
is he still selling shoes?
and Howie said, we were all nervous because Jay Traynor quit, and Howie said, hey, why don't you call your buddy Dave? I said, Dave's married, and he's living in Jamaica, and he's not, I don't know if he could sing that stuff. Give him a call. I called him. He came along. He brought Caramia with him, and the rest is history.
Pretty much so. Okay, Howie Kane,
Yes.
you tell me your take on this. Here it is, 40 years later. You've been maybe out of the business for a while. You're going to be on stage at one of the best venues in New York City.
Right.
You still got those dance moves down?
It's lucky I can stand tonight. It's been a long time.
Okay, you
I'm
must.
very tired. As a matter of fact, I sleep a lot in the cars, in the rooms, everywhere.
And right when we get done.
But yeah, we're really
On
excited
stage.
about this. You want to know something? We're singing better than we ever did as kids because, well, first of all, we don't tumble too much anymore. I mean, I don't have the strength to do that. And we're working together. We like each other, and it's just been a great. I mean, we're so surprised that all this stuff is happening so quick. When we were going to start this, I said to Sandy, it's going to take a couple of years, until people know who we are, and it's just been great.
Yeah.
It's just been great.
Well, 40 years of memories kind of assure you that they all know who Jay and the Americans is. And let's get to the latest Jay. And this is Jay Reinke from
Jay number 3.
from Chicago. Jay,
That's right.
how did you get hooked up with these guys?
Oh, it's a real long story, but basically through that auction where David Blatt sold the name, Sandy actually got my name through that auction because I kind of was a little involved early on myself. But
In the bidding.
in the bidding. And there was a truth in music law passed in Illinois, so that took me out of the bidding. But Sandy, I was able to get a hold of my name and number and called me up. And I don't think he really quite knew what he was getting himself into, but I'd been doing these songs for many years. I've been a huge fan of this group since I was a kid. So,
Wow.
yeah.
That's the way we do it in radio, too. We listen to disc jockeys we like, and we try to emulate them, and we collect air checks of them, and I'll be doggone. So you're a fan who got to have your dream job.
That's basically it in a nutshell. It really is. It's like, it's like having three big brothers here in New York right now, and I get on stage and I still I'm amazed when I turn around and hear those voices behind me. It's like, these are the real guys. Oh, my God.
That is awesome. So, Jay, how much rehearsing went into this? How much getting into, the original lyrics and the harmonies and the way you guys used to always put it together so flawlessly? That's one thing about Jay and the Americans. Always a flawless performance on stage, on television, certainly on records, too.
Well, basically, actually, once I came into the group, we rehearsed for about 3-4 months. But you know what? Within a few weeks, these guys had their harmonies all back together. I think it was like riding a bike for those guys, and I'd been singing these songs for the last 20 years anyway. So, it's amazing how it all kind of falls in place and everything. We got the guys in the band together, and it's a marvelous thing we're doing. It really
the
is.
determination that he has. He lives in Chicago. And so, like, every week we'd say, like, for us, we'd say, like, all right, we'll meet at the studio in West Hempstead or something. And we'd say, Jay, you got to come in, like he lives down the street.
Yeah, right.
He was in every time we call a rehearsal, every time we're in the studio now, because we are preparing for an album. And
we're in the studio.
Right.
We're currently in the studio.
Right.
In the studio.
And we're working with Gary Katz, who did Steely Dan's album. So, we've been very busy, but he comes in constantly. And it's been great.
That's
I'm
right.
very well acquainted now with Gate C10 over at LaGuardia.
Yeah.
Funny thing is one interviewer asked me a great question. He said, how is it that you guys get your harmonies together and stuff like that, and is it difficult? And I said, well, when you originated the harmonies, it can't be that hard to duplicate it again. As long as we're standing, we can do the harmonies.
Yeah, you're right. It's like riding a bike. You thought it up. It comes back to you naturally.
With the arrangements, you can do it again.
Yeah. For the aficionados of Jay and the Americans, you already know, but for some who don't, a couple of pretty famous guys have sung with these guys. They mentioned Jay Traynor, Jay Blatt, and
Kenny Vance.
And Kenny Vance, obviously, who went on to become the music producer, I think, of the Saturday Night Live or something.
That's right.
Yeah,
and
okay.
He did several movies.
Yes.
American Hot Wax. And, Kenny's one of our best friends.
And his
Yeah.
group, the Planetones.
And the Planetones.
That's right. They do
play
doo-wop, straight up doo-wop.
Straight up doo-wop, and they
It's a
do it
great singer.
beautifully.
They do it really nice.
Wow, that's great. And a couple other guys, too.
Jay Traynor sings with the Mystics now. I mean, with the Tokens.
With the Tokens.
Yeah,
That's
he
right.
sings with Jay Siegel, who's another good friend of ours.
Uh-huh.
So it's a wonderful circle of a little society.
And we had Donald and Walter, Steely Dan.
Steely Dan.
They were bass player and keyboard player.
Yeah. That's amazing. See, obviously, a lot of talent, and a lot of talent right from the beginning, too. CBS FM is just proud to be here. We're going to go out on
Welcome
stage.
back, CBS FM.
Ah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, we missed you.
Thank you.